sometimes even more than 2 years to find a new distributor if the seller is no longer interested. And let's say Roche or Sanofi, they will no longer distribute the product. Once they divested it, they are happy to leave it, and they give you 1 or 2 years to find a new distributor.
Okay.
But if it's a smaller company, then sometimes you can take over the distributor, the existing distributor.
Yeah.
So it depends a bit. And just give you one example, and I think it was published that Ceplapharm signed a deal with a Swiss distributor, Diethelm, the Diethelm Group, and they are the leading distributor in Asia. So by signing a deal with them, you cover the whole region. You cover Asia and Australia.
Okay.
Because they have a strong presence. I know Diethelm pretty well. So this is a very efficacious distributor. But the downside is you give a lot of margin away.
Yeah.
This is also what surprises me a bit is, by acquiring all these brands and not having own businesses in most of the countries, you always depend on third parties. First of all, you do depend on third parties for production, because they don't have any in-house production. So they have to have third-party production, which costs money. Then you gotta have third-party distribution outside of Germany and France.
Yeah.
So again, it costs money. You give margin away, and you still need to make a profit. So they give a lot of margin away by relying on third parties.
Yeah.
And so far, I struggle a bit when I think about likely synergies. Yeah, they certainly have synergies in the German market with their OTC portfolio, but they are very limited because they do not strongly promote it. Yeah, it's rather they're selling it to the wholesalers. Yeah.
But are they not getting like a better discount on price when they just due to the volumes, right? Because by selling more drugs, let's say if they acquire new drugs in Asia, and it's just going to increase their volume, and so they should be able to negotiate a better price with the distributor.
Yes, but volumes are really not that high, because let's say they have, if you consolidate everything, they may get up to 300 million sales this year.
Yeah.
In more than 100 countries with 50 products. So if you just look at the individual product, there is no real blockbuster. There is no high volume product in any of these markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a portfolio of very different products in very different markets. So I'm missing a bit, or I just may miss the point, yeah. Because whenever I was looking into let me say potential acquisitions, one of the first question has been, come on, what about future synergies? And I can't see that many synergies, and I do see this dependence on third party. First of all, a dependence on third party per se is not ideal, but they're giving margin away for everything. Yeah, because they can hardly manage in-house what they are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they claim that the synergies they're getting is coming mainly from production rationalization and reduction of production cost, and saying changing CMOs and things like that. So they say there may be some truth in it, because if you take over a product, then you can also look for a new manufacturer. That is right. Yeah. I guess that Roche and Sanofi are not the cheapest manufacturers. Yeah, that's right. But we're talking about off-patent brands. So the price level is not the highest. Yeah. And if these are, let me say, pretty specific brands, and some of them are fairly specific,
then you cannot